the administration was good enough to present for the first time ever language referring to a referendum in Puerto Rico on its political status. And Chairman Wolf and Ranking Member Fatah were excellent in making sure that that language stayed in, because as you can imagine, some folks wanted that language to disappear. Now it's become law, and everybody's aware of it. What is the next step in terms of what has to happen? Is it something that you prod them along in the Commonwealth to accomplish, or something they have to do on their own at the local legislature without your prodding? And I must say that I was very much taken, surprised, pleasantly surprised, by the fact that the language clearly states that you will have final say as to what the ballot looks like and what information is on the ballot, and that it meets constitutional requirements and public laws in this country. And that's, I don't know if you're aware of this, you must be aware of it. It's the first time the federal government has played this role. Puerto Ricans have spoken on this issue before, but they've done it amongst themselves. This time the federal government is saying, here's an opportunity, say something. So what's the next step now?
Well, you're correct. The appropriation for fiscal year 2014 included, it was a one-time $2.5 million carve-out under the Byrne grant program for objective, nonpartisan voter education about a plebiscite that would resolve the political status in Puerto Rico. Now, the funds are to be provided to the State Elections Commission of Puerto Rico, which has the responsibility of drafting the voter education materials and the plebiscite ballot. The department's role is limited to reviewing those documents and then making the determination about whether they are compatible with the Constitution, the laws, and policies of the United States. But it is the department's role, the department's obligation to make such a determination.
Right. And I must say, in closing, that to me there were two points in that language that were crucial. And as you know, because you've become some sort of an expert on it, whenever the issue of Puerto Rico comes up, there are 4 million people, and then there are about 5 million analysts on the island who analyze what it was the federal government said. And it's going on right now. And I assure you, once news gets out that I asked you this question, there'll be another 6 million analysts throughout the states and the Commonwealth analyzing what you said and what I asked and what I said. But there were two key words to me. One was to resolve. And I hope that that continues to be the thought, because resolve means exactly that, resolve. It can't mean, in my opinion, more the same. And lastly, that it meets within constitutional requirements. And in my opinion, without getting deeper into the subject, there was one possible presentation of an option that wouldn't meet constitutional requirements, all the others do. And so I'm looking forward to what they come up with and what your response is. And I must say that you deal with a lot of issues every day. But when there's been a territory sitting around for 116 years, this may not be one of the biggest issues on your plate. In fact, I know it isn't. But I can assure you that to us, to the New York community, in Chicago, and in all of Latin America, this is something being watched very closely.
No, this is obviously a very serious matter, and Puerto Rico is a subject or a place that justifiably generates a lot of involvement by the Justice Department, not only with regard to this. I was in Puerto Rico, I guess, a few months or so ago, working with the governor on some issues. Our U.S. attorney down there is doing a good job in trying to help the local authorities there with the violence problem that that exists on the island. It's a topic, it's an area, it's a subject matter that justifiably takes up a fair amount of not only my attention, but people in the Justice Department as well. So you need not apologize for that or think that this is something that's inappropriate. This is something that I think appropriately is of concern to us in the department.
Well, I would hope that we continue to work on it, because my personal political dash, having been born in Puerto Rico and raised in the Puerto Rican capital of the world, New York City, in the Bronx, statement is that 116 years is a long time, and it's good for Puerto Rico, but it's also good for our democracy to be able to resolve this issue once and for all. So I thank you for your involvement.
For the record, I was born in Hunts Point, so
Yeah, so in the 15th Congressional District,
there you go.
Thank you,
represented by me, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Mr. Serrano. Mr.